Hey, if you're struggling at chasing shiny objects, let me show you how to align your goals and actions so that you have more success in life. Watch the video now. Hey, this is Craig Ballantyne, and I want to make sure that you are aligned in life so that your actions and your goals totally line up for massive success. Because when they're misaligned, you have more stress and less success. So that's the purpose of our teaching session today. Now, I'm going to start with a very embarrassing story. Because you see, what causes a lot of problem in people's lives is what I refer to as the #1 cause of friction in our lives. Or really, the #1 first world problem, which is oftentimes it's comparing ourselves to others. But we look at that and we go, I wish that was me, or I should be having that. I deserve that in my life. It causes a lot of stress and angst, and it ends up making us do some things that misalign with our goals, which I'll get to in a second. But first, I wanted to backtrack a little bit and tell you that shameful story about something that happened back in July of 2012 when a friend of mine, a dear friend of mine, a really great guy, a guy I look up to, a guy named Vince Del Monte. And he sent me an email that day, and he was just happy. He was elated that one of his recent products had started to make a lot of sales. And because he was making a lot of sales, he was making a lot of money, and he was just overjoyed. And he knew that as another entrepreneur, I would feel joy for him too. But he didn't know that all I felt was envy and greed. And I thought to myself, it should be me. It should be me, Craig Ballantyne, making this money. And on that day, on that Sunday, I remember going around the house and thinking, how can I get out of this funk? How can I stop being a jealous, envious, greedy person and think, you know what, good for him. And so I stumbled across an old thank you card that was sitting around the house, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna write Vince a thank you card. And I wrote him a thank you card that said, hey, thank you for being a great mentor. Thank you for being a great man. Thank you for being a great father, a great husband to your wife, Flavia, who's an amazing woman. Thank you for inspiring me. Thank you for inviting me to your wedding. Thank you for being a leader in your industry. And as I wrote it, my heart lightened and my mood lifted. And so, yeah, I was going to brighten his day, but nothing brightened my day more than writing that card. I was the one who benefited the most from thanking him. It helped me overcome that envy, helped me set aside the comparison syndrome and realize that this was a lesson that I had to go and share with you. All right, so we've all got this comparison syndrome. I'm sure it gets every single person in the world from one time to another. But here's what happens is then we think the grass is greener on the other side, right? We've all heard that phrase, the grass is greener on the other side. What's that make us do? What's that made you do in your business before? Has it ever sent you down the wrong path? Have you ever said, well, if they're doing Facebook advertising, then I should go and spend money on Facebook ads, even though I don't know anything about it. And the next thing you know, you're $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 in the hole because you chased a shiny object. And so that's the 3-step phase for causing a lot of stress in our lives. We get envy or comparison syndrome, we think the grass is greener on the other side, and then we chase the shiny object. After we have chased shiny objects, we realize there's a misalignment. So my goals, I want to do this, I want to achieve this. Oh, shiny object, I'm going off in this direction. And there's that misalignment, right? And that misalignment then causes more stress in us, sends us back to more comparison syndrome, and it's a vicious cycle, right? A vicious cycle of us chasing something that doesn't really matter to us, that doesn't move us ahead, that might take time away from our family, that might ruin our health. So here's what we need to do for you. We need to do a bit of an audit of your life and figure out, what am I really doing with my time? What am I really putting my energy into? Is that moving me ahead? And is that in line with my big goals and dreams? Now, there's probably a question coming up to you right now. Well, how the heck do I do this audit? How do I figure out what's right, what's wrong? Am I just supposed to magically appear out of the air or have a check mark between every action that I'm taking? Well, no. It starts with something that I call outside eyes. And there's a couple of ways to put outside eyes on our life to do that audit and identify what really matters to us. And the first one is through self-reflection. Now, the best way to do this self-reflection is to spend a day with me at my workshop, my business mentoring program. Now, a second best way to do it is to do this little exercise at the end of the day, which I call watching the movie of your life. Every single day, you're going to do this for about 3 minutes. So those are the 3 questions that you must ask yourself every evening. Maybe you watch the movie at 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock or 9 o'clock, and you ask yourself, what did I do right today? What did I do wrong today? And what can I do better tomorrow? Make sure you share this video with your friends, tag somebody down below, let them know that they need to watch this. Get aligned. Doesn't matter if it's at the gym or in their business. Let's make sure everyone gets what they need. Bethany got up at 5 o'clock today. That's amazing. I love it. Inspiring you guys every day. We'll talk to you soon.